Riyadh International Airport, Saudi Arabia. August 19, 1980. On the tarmac, a passenger aircraft stands ready. A Lockheed L-1011 TriStar of Saudia, Flight 163, bound for Jeddah. On board, 301 people, 287 passengers and 14 crew members. This routine flight was about to become a countdown. A countdown defined not by a crash, but by a wait. A 23-minute wait that would decide the fate of everyone on board. At 18:08 Greenwich Mean Time, clearance is given. Saudia Flight 163 roars down the runway and climbs into the evening sky over Saudi Arabia. At the controls, a relatively young crew for this advanced aircraft. 38-year-old Captain Muhammad Ali Kawaider. 24-year-old First Officer Sami Abdullah Hassan and 42-year-old Flight Engineer Bradley Curtis. In the cabin, 11 flight attendants prepare for the short hop to Jeddah. The climb is normal. The mood is routine. But at an altitude of 22,000 feet, just 7 minutes after takeoff, a single, piercing alarm changes everything. The fire warning for the rear cargo compartment flashes red. Flight Engineer Curtis confirms the signal. Captain Kawaider's first move? He shuts off the ventilation to that compartment, a procedural step, but one that suggests a mind still considering continuing the flight, not aborting it. So, should we return? The captain asks, almost tentatively. Curtis, more alarmed, reports that smoke detectors in 2 separate cargo bays are now triggered. Psychologically, the captain is not ready for an emergency return. He doesn't grasp the criticality. Time, the one asset they have the least of, is already bleeding away. While the aircraft flies onward, away from Riyadh, he asks Curtis for the fire checklist. The flight engineer fumbles through the massive quick reference handbook. The tension is electric. In a bizarre contrast, the captain is heard on the CVR, humming a tune. For 4 full minutes after the alarm, the burning plane flies towards Jeddah. The decision to return is still not made. In the rear cargo hold, the fire gains strength, fed by what investigators would later suspect was flammable hydraulic fluid. Finally, pressure builds. Curtis can't find the exact checklist. He suggests checking the passenger cabin for smoke. He leaves and returns, his face now etched with pure urgency. The fire is confirmed, he states. Only now does Captain Kawaider commit. Okay, we are turning back. The communication to Riyadh is not a panicked mayday, but a calm report of smoke indications. Meanwhile, a flight attendant bursts in. Flames are now visible in the rear passenger cabin. Panic erupts in the back. Passengers unfasten their seatbelts. The captain orders everyone to remain seated. On the ground, Riyadh scramble their fire trucks. But a new problem cripples the crew. Their English. The emergency procedures for the Lockheed L-1011 are all in English, a language the crew commands poorly. Precious minutes are lost translating, misunderstanding. The fire extinguishing system for the cargo hold is activated far too late. At 18:36, showcasing remarkable piloting skill, the stricken TriStar makes a perfect, smooth landing back in Riyadh. The aircraft is safely on the ground. The runway is ahead. This is the moment for immediate evacuation. But then, a decision that defies all emergency protocol. The pilots do not stop. They exit the runway and begin to taxi. For nearly 3 long minutes, the burning aircraft, with victims still alive inside, rolls slowly along the taxiways. The last radio message from Flight 163 comes at 18:40. We are trying to evacuate now. Inside, chaos reigns. A flight attendant reports a fistfight has broken out as passengers scramble for space near the front, away from the toxic smoke. The crew is overwhelmed. Outside, the airport fire services arrive to a nightmare. They are not trained for this. They have never practiced on a real aircraft, or even a full-scale mock-up of an L-1011. They face a sealed, burning tube. The doors are complex, and the instructions to open them are, again, in English. For 23 minutes, firefighters scramble outside, trying to decipher the manuals, while inside, temperatures soar to over 1,000 degrees. When they finally breach the main forward door, a deadly rush of oxygen causes a flashover, a violent explosion of fire that consumes the entire cabin interior in seconds. The fire is put out quickly after that, but it's a grim formality. The aircraft is a hollowed-out shell. There are no survivors. All 301 people have perished, most from smoke inhalation long before the flames reached them. The investigation was marred by obstruction. Saudi authorities, citing Islamic law, forbade autopsies and rushed the burial of victims, destroying critical evidence. The airline initially blamed a passenger's smuggled gas stove. But international experts from the US NTSB and UKAID dismissed this. Their likely cause: an electrical short circuit igniting standard, yet highly flammable, hydraulic fluid in the rear cargo bay. The official conclusion was a damning chain of failure. 1. Crew hesitation. A catastrophic delay in recognizing the emergency and returning. 2. Language barrier. Crippling inability to execute English checklists swiftly. 3. The taxi decision. The inexplicable choice to taxi after a safe landing. 4. Total ground failure. Untrained, unprepared airport rescue services. Saudia Flight 163 is not just a tragedy, it is a dark benchmark. It remains the deadliest aviation disaster in the Middle East and the 8th worst in global history. It exposed a brutal truth. A fire on board is a race against time where minutes are measured in lives. It highlighted the non-negotiable need for crew resource management, for English proficiency as a global standard, and for rigorous, realistic emergency training for both air and ground crews. The victims didn't die in a violent impact. They died waiting. Waiting for a decision, waiting for a procedure, waiting for a door to open. This channel grows with every new investigation we undertake. If you want to support this journey into aviation history and safety, and see more content like this, please subscribe and leave a like. It truly makes all the difference. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.